Hi there. The video today is going to be about a couple of things. We're going to try and get our compost bulk dried up at least a little bit this morning, and in a few days, which is also going to be on this video, we're going to be doing some slug control. I'm going to use nematodes this year. I haven't used them before. Someone advised me to use them last year, so I'm going to give them a try and see how they work. I'll be really interested to find out. Last year I was using yeast traps, which is just yeast and a bit of flour and sugar, and you mix it into a little shallow bowl and add some water, and you plant it level, push it in the ground level with the soil, and the slugs love it and it really works. It was great. However, we do have some naughty little birds. I think it's the crows, and they come down and they literally pick the little plastic bowl out and they fling it across the allotment every time. So they don't last very long. I need little roofs or something for them to hide them from the birds. So I'm going to try the nematodes and I'll show you how we'll get on putting that down, but that's later on. This morning we are tackling the compost. We've got a great big pile of grass clippings over in the field there. It's council owned field where they play cricket and football, and there's men there cutting the grass all the time and they leave it in a heap there. So we're going to try and get as many of them as we can bear to. And I've got this big plastic compost round the corner here. We're going to empty that out and try and put it on the big compost, just try and get a big mass going, and that's how we'll get it to heat up. If you want good soil, you've got to have compost, and if you don't want to buy compost, you've got to make your own, and you've got to think ahead. This compost we're making now will be for next growing season. We've got to start it now and just really make an effort to find as much organic matter as you can if you want to do this. You can put anything you like on the compost that's organic. Leaves, your weeds, your vegetable, old vegetable matter, your peelings from the garden. If you can get animal poop, that's better still. You can put on cow manure, pig manure. Well, that would be smelly though, wouldn't it? If you could get it, it would be good though. Horse manure. We get lots of chicken manure from our chickens, so that's great. But and you just layer it up, pile it up and layer it up and layer it up as best you can, and you'll get compost without a doubt. I've always managed to get compost. I manage my compost heaps much more intensively now. I've started with the allotment, but when I had a garden, when it was just a back garden, it was just for the flowers, I just piled it on and left it and emptied it out once or twice a year, and it always worked in the end. Just pulled it off, did you?
Pretty dry.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on, look at a parsnip. Light, very dry, very light.
Did you get it on?
Yeah, put that on. Some horse dung in there.
Yeah, I did get some. Don't want your compost to be too dry. This is too dry that we've pulled out of this plastic compost. I'm going to get the hose and give it a little hose. You don't want it dripping wet, but you do want it damp. It's got to be moist and warm, and that's how things break down. I'm going to go and get some grass clippings now and just try and layer up this compost that we're taking from the plastic bin with the grass clippings and make a couple of layers of that and give it a little water each time. This is last year's grass pile. There's the new grass cuttings over there, but this stuff's it's composted pretty much all the way already. But it's a bit smelly if you don't be careful with grass cuttings and you just pile them up too much. It excludes all the air, and to compost properly you need air, oxygen in the mix. So it tends to get a bit smelly, which this is, but never mind, we'll give it a good mix in with ours and it'll be fine. So just going to try and mix in some of these newer grass cuttings with the old stuff, just to get it a nice blend. So this is load 2, and actually the truth of the matter is most of the stuff, I mean this stuff's already partially composted down. The grass clippings, some of them are almost fully composted down, so really we should have usable compost much more quickly than we normally would if you were using all fresh stuff. I'd like to get some of the hen manure from the back garden onto this as well to get it going.
This has never been turned either, has it?
It might have been turned once, but not much.
It's a little bit heavier at the bottom.
We're going to try and use this big plastic compost bin as like an overflow for when the two big wood ones are full.
You want to just leave it at that?
Yeah, that'll be alright. Look at all those eggs at the bottom.
I know. I've just been clearing out the compost there and got right into the corner and see what I found. Little bird's nest. At first I thought it was a blackbird, but I think it's a song thrush because you see the base of it there, smooth. The blackbird's nest isn't smooth like that. It's just like the blackbird makes her nest just like that. But that stuff there, that's the way the song thrush makes her nest. So that's what I think it is. How about that?
Oh, right, that's it. Had 3 big loads of the grass cuttings. We've got 3 layers of the old compost there layered up. We had a bed of seaweed. I don't know if you saw that video when we went down to the beach and got some seaweed. So that compost is about half full now. So that's a good start. We'll have to try and crack on and get it filled up if we can over the next couple of weeks. And that's next year's compost sorted. Some of it at any rate. It's next day and I'm still composting. I've got a bucket full of food scraps. They're going on top of all this cut grass, and then I'm going to cut down a big comfrey plant, which I'll show you now. So I've just got this giant bush of comfrey. It's about to come into flower, so it's a shame But I am going to cut the whole lot down to the ground and put it on the compost. Comfrey's fantastic for the compost. Loads of nutrition in there for the plants for next year. And you can cut comfrey down to the ground at least twice in the season, maybe even 3 times. I am a bit disappointed about the fact that's just about to flower because the bees really like it. But never mind, I'm sacrificing that for the sake of my compost. I'll do that now. I haven't got my garden shears, so I'm not exactly sure how this is going to work. I'm just going to try and chop it with a spade.
You've got scissors, you know.
That's working. Oh, that didn't take much doing. It seems a bit of a shame, but comfrey can get invasive, so there's that to take into account as well. So I'm just knocking it back a bit. So I just show you what those naughty old crows do. All these little Tupperware pots were buried flush to the ground when I left them here last night. Baited them up with the yeast, and every single one. And I had even put, you see these, it was in there, and I had put these plastic straps over the top and pushed them in the ground to try and strap them down a bit, but no, they wouldn't have it. So this is why I'm going to use nematodes, because the birds are out of control. Right, it's time to get these nematodes put on the garden. This is the little pack. It's like a little powder in there. And you have to keep them in the fridge when they come, and they've just got a short shelf life, a couple of weeks. They're living organisms that I'm not sure how big they are. I don't think they're microscopic, but they're very small and act like a parasite as far as I can understand onto the slugs. They attach onto the slugs and kill the slugs, and that stops the slugs ruining your garden, obviously. I've come up now because it's just, we've had a heavy shower. Everything's supposed to be damp when you put them on. Unfortunately, the sun isn't supposed to be out, and it's just come out, but it's cloudy, so I think it'll go back in again. And I'm going to try and follow the instructions carefully, which I'm never very good at. So I'll be reading the back. You've got to dissolve this whole pack into 4 litres of water. Give it a really good stir. And you've got to fish out half a litre at a time. And top it up to 5 litres. And this pack will cover 40 square metres. So it should cover our whole allotment. Yeah, I'm not measuring it. It's not an exact thing, but hopefully that'll work out all right. Right, I've got my 4 litres of water in the bucket. Yeah, it's just like a powder, so I've just got to pour that in and stir it up really well. It's not a cheap option, this. I think it was about £14, and apparently it only lasts 6 weeks. So I don't know whether it's going to be worth it really. If I've got to buy the same again, you know, for the second half of the summer, it seems quite expensive as an option to me. But if it was fantastic, I don't know. And what I don't really understand is, if these are living organisms, why aren't they able to reproduce once you get them into your own soil? So I suspect they've probably been genetically modified or something, so they don't replicate. Maybe I'm being a bit paranoid. Right, there you go, that's what it looks like. I'm just going to get half a litre into here. That's a bit much. Is that it? Near enough. And then it's going into the watering can. And I've got to top the watering can up to 5 litres with normal water. Now it does say use a very coarse rose on your watering can, and this is fine, so I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to actually kind of pour it on because I figure the nematodes can move. We'll get it on this border first, as the birds won't allow me to have any other slug prevention. I think there might be magpies actually, because I've just seen a bunch chattering around in the other allotment. Oh well, that's it. One down, here to go. Right, I've had to move you into the shed because it's actually started raining, which is ideal for putting this on, apparently. So I'm just going to crack on. The rain's not very nice for me, but this nematode stuff likes it. Right, it's pouring. Oh, I'm getting soaked. That's the nematodes on. I'll let you know if I think they're worth buying. I hope I can get control of the slugs, the yeast traps and beer traps and all that, a messy, smelly business. This would be ideal. But I'm going to go now because I'm getting wet. Catch you in the next one. Bye.